December 7th, 1941. A quiet Sunday morning in Hawaii turned into a storm of fire and chaos. Planes filled the sky, bombs rained down, and in the middle of it all stood a man. Not a soldier, not an officer, but a cook. His name was Doris Miller, and though his country saw him as less than equal, that day he became one of America's greatest heroes. Dorie Miller was born on October 12, 1919, in Waco, Texas, the son of sharecroppers. He grew up strong, standing over 6 feet tall, working the land, dreaming of something more. In 1939, he enlisted in the United States Navy, but because of the color of his skin, he wasn't allowed to fight. The Navy placed him in the service branch as a mess attendant. He cooked meals, cleaned tables, and served officers who could never imagine the courage hidden behind that smile. December 7th, 1941. The USS West Virginia was anchored at Pearl Harbor. Dorie was below deck, collecting laundry. When the first explosion shook the ship, he rushed to his battle station, but it was destroyed. Instead of hiding, he ran toward danger. On deck, the air was thick with smoke, bullets, and fire. He found his captain, Mervyn Bennion, gravely wounded and carried him to safety under heavy attack. Then, Dorie saw an unmanned .50 caliber anti-aircraft gun. He had never been trained to use it. But in that moment, training didn't matter. He grabbed the gun and began to fire. Witnesses say he hit at least one enemy plane. When the ammunition ran out, he carried more wounded sailors to safety, refusing to leave his post until ordered. When the attack ended, more than 2,400 Americans were dead. The USS West Virginia was sinking, but because of one brave sailor, many had survived. At first, the Navy didn't even print his name. They called him an unnamed Negro sailor. But across America, black newspapers demanded answers. They found his name, and Dorie Miller became a symbol of courage and pride. In May 1942, Admiral Chester W. Nimitz personally awarded Dorie Miller the Navy Cross, the third highest honor for valor in combat. Admiral Nimitz said, "This marks the first time in this conflict that such high tribute has been made in the Pacific Fleet to a member of his race." Dorie had shown the world that heroism knows no color, no rank, and no limit. In 1943, Dorie was reassigned to the escort carrier USS Liscum Bay. On November 24th, a Japanese torpedo struck the ship. The explosion ripped through the vessel, and in an instant, it was gone. Dorie Miller was among the 644 sailors who never came home. He was just 24 years old. Decades later, the Navy named 2 ships in his honor, including the USS Doris Miller, CVN 81, the first aircraft carrier ever named after an African American and an enlisted sailor. He was a cook who became a warrior, a sailor who became a symbol, a man who proved that courage has no rank, no race, and no boundaries. He gave everything for a country that hadn't yet given him equality. And in doing so, he helped change it forever. Like, share, and subscribe for more untold American heroes.